Question: what is the nature of tax exemption? Answer: an exemption from taxation is a grant of immunity, express or implied, to particular persons or corporations or to persons or corporations of a particular class, from a tax upon property or an excise which persons and corporations generally within the same taxing district are obliged to pay. It is a freedom from a charge or burden to which others are subject. Notes: he who claims the exemption must point to some provision of law creating the right. It cannot be allowed to exist upon a mere vague implication or inference. It must be indubitably shown to exist, for every presumption is against it and a well-founded doubt is fatal to the claim. Facts: Smart Communications, Incorporation, a domestic corporation, was assessed deficiency franchise and business tax by the City of Iloilo. Smart claims exemption from the payment of local franchise and business taxes based on Section 9 of its legislative franchise, which provides for the payment of a franchise tax equivalent to 3% of all gross receipts, which amount shall be in lieu of all taxes. Smart similarly invoked Republic Act 7925 or the Public Telecommunications Policy Act, whose Section 21 declares that any existing privilege, incentive, advantage, or exemption granted under existing franchises shall ipso facto become part of previously granted telecommunications franchise. Held: he who claims an exemption from his share of the common burden of taxation must justify his claim by showing that the legislature intended to exempt him by words too plain to be beyond doubt or mistake. The burden, therefore, is on Smart to prove that based on its franchise and the Public Telecoms Act, it is entitled to exemption from the local franchise and business taxes being collected. The "in lieu of all taxes" clause in a legislative franchise should categorically state that the exemption applies to both local and national taxes. Otherwise, the exemption claimed should be strictly construed against the taxpayer and liberally in favor of the taxing authority. Moreover, applying the rule of strict construction of laws granting tax exemptions and the rule that doubts are resolved in favor of municipal corporations in interpreting statutory provisions on municipal taxing powers, the court held that Section 23 of Republic Act 7925 could not be considered as having amended petitioner's franchise so as to entitle it to exemption from the imposition of local franchise taxes.